Okay. Okay. I'll just instantly get started without anyone noticing it. It's running. So let's begin without even signing up until someone shows up. Unless it's users that I don't like in general. And, this, this,
Bad news. Out of Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Sorry, distracted by Instagram. But anyways, never mind about nobody watching. I gotta get this some progress going. Okay, couple users, so couple are watching, but it could be the ones that I blocked already that might be still watching. I won't mention any usernames. Hmm. Okay, there. Put it in the tab. And just put them in idle mode. I'll just put these in idle mode. Standing. Okay. They move. Okay, couple of viewers. Okay. Okay, fine. So, let's make this a yelling. 800%. Angry birdie. Okay, bye. Hiding stats. The earthquake. Man, there's barely any people, barely any user wanting to watch. Well, it's still okay with me. Still okay with me. What it all matters is keeping track on how's the video doing. Well, if I'm in a mood of art instead, I would be in a living room or the chair towards the computer instead. If I don't want to sleep accidentally. May or may not have a second part. The earthquake. Okay. 7 hours and 51 minutes. 7 hours and 51 minutes. of this session. So rearray. Oh, I think Mickey's okay. Maybe we could have put a fat body. Put a fat body on Mickey Snivy. Put 800%. Petrified. Petrified. She's backwards. Mickey Snivy's backwards. Well, maybe I could rearrange this nest scene. Nest scene into the force perspective. Move these. Yeah. Rearrange. Rearrange. A tad bit smaller. I'll just put them in the background. Oh, hey, comment goes, hey, Isis. Welcome. Until further notice, progressing in the Mickey Snivy cartoon. And yesterday I did some really decent progress of this project thing. Well, okay, as of Li'l Peep's characters, thinking of making more of those. But I wasn't finished with the Privy Beetle 16 character yet. But I'll finish eventually when I'm in the mood of making more characters. So yeah, back from hibernation, back from Go Animate hibernation. And yes, Dragon Murray cartoon, and then the Mickey Snivy cartoon. Man, still, yes. Okay. And yes, I'm thinking of drawing comics again, you know. As for the art project I'm doing, the art project I'm currently drawing is, you know, if you're okay, yeah, I even showed my newest OC characters swimming for Beatles DM. That's what I'm currently. Oh, brightness is too much. And there. Yes, sometimes I like face reveal, and yeah, that's my new profile picture of the in Streamyard without showing the body for public viewers. Okay, and yeah, I have a. This is originally drawn from the tablet. Yeah, where's the glasses? Oh, yeah, Atari looking glasses. That one. Okay, I'll do more progress if I'm in a mood. Hopefully. Yeah, and yes, putting references for a couple more characters. Betty, the regular Betty the Blue Seal, and the character was the comment. May or may not be holding any courier related deliveries or cargo, but still focuses more on the sensation sense of speed. Okay. How's this? Okay. Well, I could do other activities, depends on how well I did with, as long as I'm not too slow with this project. Like, yeah, Zaragoza XPC was pretty slow. My one of the bestest, most trusted artist friends of mine that we've collaborated with by Magma without having to use a that will import images in different times. Well, figuring out what's the difference between the ordinary art collab and the Magma. Okay, that angle of the angle, yeah, this is yeah, this has been shipping size in this Mickey Mouse, Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse cartoon. That's Ness has way too much room for some reason or another. in different scenarios. And yeah, looking at the exterior nest, it looks smaller. It looks even smaller than, and even there's what's inside the nest looks bigger. And yeah, this purpose of this cartoon, not a realistic kind of bird nest. And look at this. For those who are into my art, and those are veterans looking at my art, look at the cameos I put in there. The Lucky Persona for Tuki Harry, but yeah, the only bird character that isn't made in Rapper Offline yet has yet to be. But I've looked up on how one of Li'l Peep's characters long necked long necked bird looks like when when watching Childish Dad being afraid of mustaches and bowls. As I surfed a lot of Childish Dad videos, doesn't mean I would be able to make it, but yeah, it will take them way too much planning to complete the original idea of if Childish Dad doesn't have some things don't go his way. Okay, easy to do different stuff, reenacting, remaking cartoons, really cool cartoons. Regular Mickey Mouse or Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse without Disney Plus. Carlos Sapere from Jackson's World, Toriki from Shimachi, and that's an OC. Yeah, that's Pokemon. Yeah, so a few cameos other than Pokemon. Okay, now let's continue animating. So, okay, run. Okay, let's see, run. How does she run and how does the Minnie Mouse run? No holding, no. I don't want her to hold. I don't want her to hold a gun. Oops. Toy fist. Do it. Okay. That's the ice shut. Angry happy. And the sleepy pose. Sleepy pose. Victim. Let's see if we can use victim. 1,000 punches. Okay. Point. Control point. X emotion. See hits. Animated. It's really working. Stay small.
I'm Joshua Muddy. I reinvent beat up shoes. I always had ambition and love to make things better. I champion a better tomorrow. So what do you champion?
backstage. Have not nothing to do in the moment. Mm, okay, so okay. Mm, yeah, wait until you're in a mood, or I can at least set up a magma for an extra activity. Hmm. Okay, and it might accidentally show links if I show the desktop by accident. But oh yeah, I think I can shrunk down the window to hide the link. That will be helpful. That could be greatly helpful if I show the whole screen, a very wide monitor screen. So it may slow down a bit. Okay. Ball, Mickey Snivy.
Oh, I hope Mickey's okay. Oh, I hope Mickey's okay. Oh, aren't nature's wonders beautiful? No, thank you. Nope. Ah.
No.
Oh. Wow, what a whopper!
Such a genius. Open just in case. Reveal to open just in case. Anytime until dinner. Collapsing. 4, 5, 5. Live. Hope I don't show innocent of you by accident. Check back just in case. Not yet.
behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring over California with us. To unfasten your seatbelt, just push down on the red button on your right. Be sure to gather all your carry-on items from the under seat compartment and exit to your left. So into tower, we are ready for takeoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to It's a World World. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to It's a World World. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and
Also, the date stream name correct. They did the stream name correct. Oh, okay. Thanks. There you go. Much better. Better now. Better now. Okay. Okay. still always coming up with new ideas in art.
Oh, I hope Minnie's okay. Oh, aren't nature's wonders beautiful? No, thank you.
Been interested in making board games lately. Game designing, right? Maybe board game with some theming, of course, and scenery. Okay. Okay. Feather. How many pieces of feather? 5 pieces of feather. No, I don't want the character to hold it. I don't want the character to hold it. Okay. For this one, I can use the. I know that Groundhog Day has a 39% accuracy rate. Heard about Groundhog Day, especially at school. Whatever accuracy rate that means, barely or never. Or at least don't remember. Well, good fact anyways. Okay, the sky background for flight.
Mess with the hatchlings. You hit the cannonball. Ready, big What was that noise? You're still grounded. I'm an adult.
Grounding. Yeah, it's a found the grounding scene. Angry Bird's grounding scene. That isn't the anime. That is actually.
Advil dual action back pain. Fights back pain two
There you
ways.
go.
Advil targets back pain caused by inflammation. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Quickly relieves tough back pain and lasts for 8 hours. Advil dual action back pain.
And right up. So, coming right up. Wait a second. Why aren't you in school?
Okay, where's the week?
I caught a cold this morning.
Oh
Oh
no!
man.
There's no actual wing prop in Beyond Studio. I know I mean wrapper offline. Oh, one. Okay, except for one, but it's not colorable. There's only one actual wing. What's that? You never seen it. Snowing? Wing up. Paint palette. Chocolate ball sleeves. You have those. We can search for your own props in there too. Yeah, no wing product. Load. Hover. To stream link. Join later. Of course. Of course. Since you have DM. Okay. There. In case. Hope until dinner time. Hope for a little bit. Until dinner time. That's when I'll end the stream, since I don't plan to take streaming breaks longer than 45 minutes nowadays. Especially that's the same duration that the same duration when the trackless dark ride goes down for delay, like Runway Railway and Star Wars Rise to Resistance.
Hope you get to feeling better soon.
Over 8 million tons of the fresh produce ends up in here, and that stinks. The birds try to reach.
Okay, there's a Minecraft water splash effect. Okay, still building this from scratch. Okay, scratch from scratch. Yeah, most animators use these backgrounds to make up different places, different houses, and the same background. They're basically the same background, especially Caillou, Childish Dad, Baby Dora. Okay. Yeah. Guess that more efficiency can go with customize. Okay, that's yeah. Okay, really cool background. Let's get rid of the and add an island to it.
Papa's Pizzeria. How may I help you? I have came up with a special recipe. What do you think of this? This is Meat Lovers. That looks like a great special. I'll go ahead and make one right now and see what you think of the final result. Okay.
There we go. I'm wondering about how to make the land. How to make the land. Island.
Well, what do you think?
Ooh.
It looks amazing. I just got to thinking, you are a genius coming up with the idea of Meat Lovers. Would you like to be my assistant tomorrow by serving the pizza? I'd love to. Hey guys.
What?
How are you doing today, Kayla?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Wow.
What kind of pizza is that? Meat Lovers. It's a special I came up with. Nice. Mind if we try some? Sure, go ahead.
Nature. Ew. Puppy poop. Yeah, they call this poop. Yeah. Even if we could search.
I'm
Shit.
your voice assistant.
Oh, wow. You discovered this before. You can write shit on this. And its results, yeah. Yeah, that is shit. Shit. Okay.
Well, we all wish you good luck, Kayla. Thank you, Promo.
I'll turn this into a forest.
The stakes get higher.
I'll turn this into a forest.
Yeah, I can't get that thing up there. If it were football, I'd be able to reach the top. What about a football-shaped head? We throw the trial. Gutsy call, sir. Smart thinking.
What? No, that's dumb thinking. He's not throwing one.
Throw it. Throw. Hey, can you throw one in the meeting?
What? You can't throw a child.
The water ball, shut your face.
Someone came up with an excellent special yesterday. Nice. It was me. Hey, Kayla. Hi. I came up with Meat Lovers. Well, I absolutely loved your idea. And I wish you good luck. Thanks, Papa Louie. Got a customer. See ya.
was nice seeing you, and we wish you good luck.
Thanks, Katrina. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Hey, Caleb.
Hey, baby, what can I get you?
I'll have a meat lover's pizza, please.
Coming right up. I need another meat lovers, please. Here you go, sweet.
Thank you, Caleb.
No problem. Good evening, ladies and gents. BirdWatching here. And today on Nowtime News, a new special at Papa's Pizzeria just came out. And the special is already a popular hit. There, I have my lovely partner Shannon, who will be asking some questions. Okay, Shannon, take it away.
Thanks, Duke. So tell me, how did you come up with this special?
Well, I was relaxing at the park, wondering what to eat. I chose Papa's Pizzeria and came up with a special called Meat Lovers. It has bacon, pepperoni, and sausage.
That does sound tasty.
It was an excellent idea. Wow, look who stopped by the pizzeria. It's Jojo the food critic. Wow, look who stopped by the pizzeria. It's Jojo the food critic. Welcome to Papa's Pizzeria. How may I help you? I'll try Meat Lover's Pizza, please. Coming right up. Here you go. This has to be the best special I've ever had. Wow! Even the food critic wants Caleb's special. And you Thanks so much, Jojo. My pleasure. See you guys next week. Nice to meet you. We are so proud of you. Thank you. Attention, customers. Let's give Corey and Caleb a round of applause for creating a successful new special. Caleb, thank you for all your help today. My pleasure. I want to ask you something. What's up? Would you like to be a member at
Ooh. Alrighty. Join in after a while. Okay.
Welcome to Papa's Pizzeria. How may I help you? I have came up with a special recipe. It's called.
The splash. Oh, yeah.
Shoot, I forgot. Come back here, you! Here you
Hey.
Let's
Oh.
give Rory and Caleb a round of applause.
Yeah, I see.
They got successful
I already saw.
special.
Got some temporary delay.
Boo! Boo!
Akari. She's dirty and just popped the animated series. Okay. Yeah. No longer as dark as the holiday season now. Okay. Saturday tomorrow. My sister may not have work in a hotel. Could be a nearly late night stay at Disneyland, but maybe I might be drawing less in the visit if I want to live stream or use less Instagram stories. Since Instagram stories is still man, I have accidentally shown NSFW. So there you go. I can see this longer. Safer web. I might get a community guideline strike by accident if I show this too much. If I show this very frequently.
Boo! Boo!
Really, Akari? Yeah.
Came out of
Swallowed cutler. Now he.
It's like nasty chocolate. He's a superstar.
Having swallowed cutler. green. Now he walks like a...
Oh, already back? Wow. Came back for something not Disney 100.
That refreshing. Get hardware-based security
There's
above
still-
and below the OS with Intel vPro.
Yeah, you have to determine. Okay, it all depends on. They don't use a explosionist. Treat it as a. Treat it like a. Oh, just this mushroom cloud? Just this kind of mushroom? Splash animation. No choice to treat it like a.
Oh, I hope Minnie's okay. Minnie's okay. Oh, nature's wonders. No, thank you. No, thank you. Nope. No.
Wow, what a whopper!
Okay, with this.
Bro, this is about the three for me.
Thousands of people are switching to Spectrum Internet. Let's see why.
We count on Spectrum Internet and the advanced Wi-Fi to always keep us connected and protected.
It's so reliable and fast.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month.
Switch now.
Arctic Rescue is the tallest, fastest, and longest straddle coaster on the West Coast. Located at SeaWorld San Diego, this was the park's new for 2023 edition. Some of these intimate straddle coasters have an edge to them, but is that the case with Arctic Rescue, or is it firmly a family coaster? I will explain in this review. One of the first rides added to SeaWorld San Diego was a motion simulator. This ride opened in 1994's Mission Bermuda Triangle, but it was converted into Wild Arctic for the 1997 season. This was a turbulent attraction where guests rode a helicopter towards a research station, but they encountered a series of hazards on the way. While the ride received praise in its early years, it felt very dated a few decades later, which is why the ride closed early in the 2020 season. The Arctic-themed animal exhibit sharing the same space remained open.
Ooh.
Flash forward to 2023 and the park added Arctic Rescue. This was an intimate straddle coaster. This model can be found at 2 other parks in the chain. SeaWorld San Antonio added Wavebreaker in 2017. This ride is smartly built above the water and routinely is the longest line in the park, as it has been a smashing success with families. Then in 2023, Busch Gardens Williamsburg added Dark Coaster. This was placed entirely indoors, replacing the former Curse of Dark Castle Dark ride. While Arctic Rescue also replaced an indoor attraction, the ride takes place entirely outdoors. However, the ride is barely visible from the midways. Much of the layout hugs the ground. Then it's surrounded by fencing and butting up right against a backstage area, so you can't see much of this ride prior to boarding. You can catch a glimpse of the blue track from a few spots, most notably from the top of Emperor. The entry plaza looks great though. It is large, and it makes the ride feel grander than it really is. It repurposes what Wild Arctic had. It is completely covered, and you'll find some expedition theming on the floor, plus a series of educational signs hanging about. You then head indoors. Here, you have the option to join the queue line for the ride, or bypass it for the animal exhibit. I mentioned the ride is entirely outdoors, but I thought the queue line at least would be indoors. Nope. You go inside at the start to access the lockers. These are paid, and you'll need to put any bags in here. Then you go back outside for the queue line, which consists of a series of switchbacks. They are covered at least, but outside of one large sign, there really isn't anything to look at. And that's unfortunate because I've heard this ride routinely is the longest waited SeaWorld San Diego ever since opening. The ride typically has garnered hour-long waits on the weekends or school vacation weeks. Part of that is the newness, and part of that is the capacity. The ride tends to run just one train unless it's an extremely busy day, so I would recommend making this your first stop, especially if you visit on a day when school is not in session. When I went here right after the park opened, the ride was a total walk-on for me, so I was able to get a few laps in a row without having to leave the station. This ride is offered in the park's paid quick queue skip the line pass system, but it's currently a pricey one-time upcharge. That is what SeaWorld typically does with their newest rides. This ride is offered in the park's paid quick queue skip the line pass system, but it's currently a pricey one-time upcharge. That is what SeaWorld typically does with their newest rides, so I imagine it will switch to an unlimited option sometime in the next year. When you reach the end of the queue line, you go back inside for the load platform. This is quite dark, especially with many of the walls and much of the ceiling being black, but there are some welcome additions that liven things up. There are these blue screens above the queue gates. Then there are blue, green, and teal decals on the walls. While I wouldn't call it theming per se, it does give the ride a stylized appearance. You are welcome to select any row of your choice. The ride is 8 rows, each seating 2 guests side by side. I don't think the forces vary too much throughout the train, but if you want that unobstructed view, you can wait an extra train or 2 for the front. The seats are similar to the other intimate straddle coasters. You have a comfortable seat and are secured by just a lap bar. The sides of the bar can make it a tight squeeze if you have wide hips or thighs, so be prepared for that. Then you can either sit upright, or you can lean forward, grabbing those handlebars. I also do this to enhance the sense of speed. Once dispatched, you slowly launch run.
Oh,
I was hopeful there'd be some sort of show scene similar to what was featured on Wavebreaker, but instead, you go right into the launch, which I think is a missed opportunity. The launch is pretty good though. If you're in the front row, it catches you off guard. There's no countdown, and you don't take off until the back of the train has rounded the prior turn, and the tires accelerate you at a solid clip, forcing your body backwards. The launch takes you outdoors to the main layout, which is a convoluted mess of turns. Before discussing the elements specifically, I want to give some generalizations about the layout. First, the course was better landscaped than I imagined. I was worried this would be plopped down a barren parking lot or dirt patch, as we've seen with a few other recent additions in the SeaWorld chain. Instead, Arctic Rescue has white-colored rocks placed beneath the track to simulate snow. Then the rest of the area is filled with brown dirt, allowing the snow to really pop. Then the park has also planted some trees. This was further complemented by the fencing on the perimeter of the attraction being painted with evergreens as well. Second, there was some light theming. This mostly consisted of signs and research equipment scattered about. I particularly liked the helicopter because that paid homage to the former attraction. Third, this very clearly is meant for families. Some of these intimate straddle coasters like Juvaline at Jura Summerland or Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Islands of Adventure have an edge to them. This one is closer in thrill level to Wavebreaker. The turns and forces are very mild if you're a
Shop your new mattress your way at Ashley. Browse our wide selection online.
thrill seeker. With all of that out of the way, let's run through the elements. That first launch is followed by a small S-hill, which in reality is one of the tallest hills in the ride, and it's maybe 2 stories tall maximum. Don't expect any negative G's, you don't get those in this ride. Then you hug the ground for an S-bend and a turnaround. I like how you keep changing directions, but they're controlled enough so you don't get any laterals. Then you have an even smaller S-hill and another S-bend. This wraps up the first third of the ride. This takes you into Launch 2, which takes place in the semicircular tunnel. This helps enhance the speed, and like Launch 1, it does have a nice kick to it. Immediately after, you have a low bank turn left. This is the most forceful turn in the ride, as it offers some decent positive Gs. This leads to an S-hill that I believe is the largest element in the ride at roughly 3 stories in height. The hill itself is mild. This is exciting. It leads directly in this low right-hand turn. This turn is solid force further back in the train, and you get a scary near miss with a sign if you're seated on the right side of the train. It is placed on the inside of the turn, and it feels like you'll smack right into it. You then have a speed hill. It's elongated, so you don't pop out of your seat, but you may get a little weightlessness sensation. Then you have some more mild S-bends towards Launch 3. Like the first two, this tire-driven launch has a decent acceleration. Then you have a big hill that twists you right. It's underbanked on the entry, so it offers some fun laterals going up. Then you have a bunny hill that sharply banks left at the apex. It looks pretty wild off-ride, but doesn't really do too much. Next is a quick turnaround that offers some solid Gs. Then you have a quick bunny hill and gently hop upwards into the final brake run. You then head back inside the research station, ending the 2,800-foot or 850-meter-long coaster. A lot of launch coasters feel short, but Arctic Rescue does not have this problem. You have nearly 1 minute of prime ride time. And it's worth noting that after you ride, you can head right through the really done Wild Arctic Animal exhibit. Rails and horses.
I hope Mickey's okay.
It's really hitting it off. So, I would give this coaster a 5 out of 10. It's a fine coaster. The launches have nice kicks to them and are easily the highlights. Then the layout packs in plenty of twists and turns. But it is one of the weaker straddle coasters out there, as the layout isn't heavy on the forces. I do like the aesthetic touches added along the route at least, and the ride is ultimately fun. It just is one of the weaker straddle coasters out there, as the layout isn't heavy on the forces. I do like the aesthetic touches added along the route at least, and the ride is ultimately fun. It just doesn't really stand out. but it does give the park a nice family coaster, as this is less dynamic than Manta across the park. The only issue is that the height limit is 48 inches, but that is a commonality with most straddle coasters. It's just a shame young kids can't ride it until they're older. Because that the height limit is 48 inches, but that is a commonality with most straddle coasters. It's just a shame young kids can't ride it until they're older. So those are my thoughts on Arctic Rescue at SeaWorld San Diego. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Have you been on it? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.
We are responsible for all coaster layout, from the first ideas to bringing them to perfection and later hand over them to project management. The re-enacted Summerland is a 3,000.
Oh, I hope Mickey. Oh, I hope Mickey's okay.
And it is, from our point of view, one of the most underrated roller coasters in Europe. Julian has a height of only 30 feet, but it delivers pretty unique speed sensation when you are rushing over ground. It's featuring two launches, one from more or less standstill to 40 miles per hour, and the second one after approximate 1,000 feet of track. So we are hitting.
Oh, I hope Mickey's okay. Oh, I hope Mickey's okay.
And from there we are going very close to ground with our straddle coaster seat. Julian is still today the most successful roller coaster at your Summerland, and also for us it's very successful. So we delivered park in southern France, and we were contracted. Not as intense as Julian. We are very happy. The US only knows Wavebreaker, which is in SeaWorld San Antonio. This ride is very special. It's using the same ride technology of Julian. It's also more or less using the same straddle coaster seats, but it's a much tamer version of Julian, because the park initially wanted to have something not as intense as Julian. We are very happy the Sea organization next year will introduce the Arctic Rescue in SeaWorld San Diego. It's featuring 3 launches, a little bit less track length, but much more dynamic maneuvers. And on top, we have the Dark Coaster, which is in an indoor box and features a very unique. It's also more or less using the same straddle coaster seats, but it's a much tamer version of Jurien because the park initially wanted to have something not as intense as Jurien. We are very happy the Sea organization next year will introduce the Arctic Rescue in SeaWorld San Diego. It's featuring 3 launches, a little bit less track length, but much more dynamic maneuvers. And on top, we have the Dark Coaster, which is in an indoor box and features a very unique layout because we are utilizing the layouts 2 times. We redesigned a new version of Jurien, and I think this layout will be really the secret weapon for any park, specifically for mid-sized park or also bigger parks. We're using
more track
the best elements of Jurien.
More track length than
Best elements of any park, specifically for mid-sized park or also bigger parks. We're using the best elements of Jurien, and the best elements there are the really close to ground maneuvers, the twists, also here and there the airtime, but Jurien a bit lacks in its finale. From our perspective, the train is losing momentum too much. The whole finale, 9 years ago, it was really nice, but nowadays we can do better. We are still keeping the first
slightly
part,
longer than Arctic Rescue.
We are launching to 53 miles per hour, but afterwards we want to do something more, something completely unexpected. We wanted to create something where you feel the speed until the end. We really find the well-known layout curvature with our newest smoothing algorithms to make the ride experience even more smoother. We maximize the airtime experiences from 6 to 11. We also replace them with more curvier S-humps or also curvier transitions. And even a final 180-degree turn where we have also a bump in, like we did, for example, also for Totatis. Specifically, having not the plot of land what you need for Jurien. While Jurien is already the crown jewel of the family launch coaster, the new reinvented version, Jurien 2.0, will super exceed everybody's expectations. Why go with Jurien or Jurien 2.0? First, it's the position. A family launch coaster is always nice, but there's where you're sitting really close to ground, because you're already in a very dynamic position. The other thing is, our launch system, although it's just friction tires, is very, very powerful. So we can even go up to 0.7 G, which is more or less what others are doing with LSM launches. But since we're using those really solid truck tires, we can go more or less even with a family coaster to any speed you want. And this is with Jurien what we are doing.
Fulfill may look like a candy bar, but with 15 grams of protein, we swear it's a protein bar.
In spring 2010, King's Dominion, just north of Richmond, Virginia, in Doswell, debuted Intimidator 305, an Intamin Giga coaster. To this day, it is still only one of 2 Intamin Gigas ever built, the other one being Millennium Force at Cedar Point, and one of the only Giga coasters in the world, period. This makes it one of the top 10 tallest and fastest roller coasters in the world. I grew up going to King's Dominion, and I've spent my entire life as a coaster enthusiast riding this thing. In this video, I'm going to be telling you all about the attraction, dive into each of the individual elements, tell you what works and what does not. Now, to start things off, Intimidator 305 is located in the back left corner of King's Dominion in what is technically the Jungle Expedition section of the park. Although much like the nearby Flight of Fear, this does not fit within that overall jungle theme. The ride sports a racing theme after NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt. He was nicknamed the Intimidator, and so Cedar Fair brought on that licensing deal for 2 roller coasters in the chain, this one as well as Intimidator over at Carowinds down south. And this ride as a whole was a big deal when it's made its debut, on top of it being a $25 million investment. It was the biggest thing we'd ever seen at this park. At this point in time, Kings Dominion was still relatively fresh out of the Paramount era, which ended in 2006. We'd just gotten the relocated Dominator from the closed Geauga Lake theme park, yet Kings Dominion was still missing that wow must-do attraction. You could certainly make an argument for Volcano, and ironically, even after Intimidator 35's debut, Volcano remained the most popular ride in the park. But Cedar Fair really wanted to make a statement here, so they drew inspiration upon 2 popular roller coasters at Cedar Point, Millennium Force and Maverick, both produced by Intamin out of Liechtenstein. They said, what if we combine the heightened speed of Millennium Force with the snappy, crazy transitions of Maverick? The result? One of the most demented roller coasters on the planet. Intimidator 35 is not for everyone, and that is because you can make an argument for this being the most intense roller coaster ever built. And I'm going to get into that in a second when we start talking about the layout here. But getting back to the ride's location, Intimidator 35 did not replace anything at Kings Dominion. It technically takes up some of the land that was occupied by Lion Country Safari back in the day. There was a monorail station, but previously that pathway just dead-ended by Flight of Fear, so they built a whole plaza out of this ride. You'll walk under this iconic Intimidator 35 marquee sign. We got Dale's car on display off to the right, along with some details on his racing legacy, and then the actual entrance to the coaster is out in front of you. And what's interesting is because of the position of the lift hill, when you're walking up to I-305, the main thing you see is this big red pole in the sky. Even though Intimidator 35 has this beautiful parabolic shape with the lift hill and drop, you can't really see that unless you're standing in like the water park. The rest of the time, you're looking at its backside, which is too bad because structurally, I think this is one of the coolest looking rides out there. The entire 305-foot structure is held up by 2 massive supports. That is wildly impressive. The entire top third of this track is supported by itself. So that leaves this entire middle section just wide open. It's amazing. I wish there was a path or something that allowed guests to get that view, much like where all this footage was taken during a backstage tour. It isn't until you stand right there when you truly understand the scale of this ride. Other Giga coasters like Fury 325, Steel Dragon 2000, and even Leviathan to some extent really let you walk right up next to these huge sections of track. If anything, it makes you feel small. With Intimidator 35, you do walk under some sections of track, but it's all the lower portions. The biggest part of the ride, the lift hill, is removed away from you. The only time you're that close is when you are sitting in that train about to dispatch. But I'll say at least one big advantage to the plaza is just how close you can get to the brake run. It's a great way to watch riders' expressions as they just slam to a stop. They're almost always in a state of shock. Now, as you enter the line for I-305, there's a very good chance that as you're walking up, there won't be much of a wait for this thing. Despite the fact that the ride is huge in nature, with it being all the way in the back of the park and having a sometimes iffy reputation, the coaster does not get long lines. The only row that will get a long line is the front row. If you want to do this, I highly recommend riding it first thing in the morning. Any other time of day, you're going to have to wait a bit, especially if it's on one train, which does happen on slower days. But usually, every other row for this roller coaster is a 1 or 2 train wait. So you're going to walk into this Pizza Hut shaped station building, cross onto the train, and pull down your over-the-shoulder restraint. Think of this like a padded vest. It can be kind of tight, but you feel like you're really in there. Interestingly enough, this is the only Giga coaster that features over-the-shoulder restraints, and honestly, I can't imagine this ride with a lap bar. The transition type, but you feel like you're really in there. Interestingly enough, this is the only Giga coaster that features over-the-shoulder restraints, and honestly, I can't imagine this ride with a lap bar. The transitions are just too crazy. You really need that upper body support. Even newer modern rides like Velocicoaster that have crazy fast-paced transitions don't take them the same way that Intimidator 35 does. And I think that's part of why this ride can have such a huge fan base. The one word I would use to describe Intimidator 35 is aggressive. So once your shoulder restraint is down and seatbelt's buckled, you're right for the loudspeaker, sit up straight, hold on tight, and enjoy your ride, ladies and then a new pre-recorded voice comes over and says, "Gentlemen, start your engines!" And then boom, you start your fast acceleration up the lift. It is such a hype way to get started. That voiceover is iconic, and this ride wouldn't feel the same without it. Right away, this climb up to the top is going to be fast. Intimidator 35 is able to pull riders up to the top, and it's one of the lifts I can think of. Probably not the fastest I've ever experienced. I'm still giving that to Sky Rush at Hershey Park, but maybe this gets the number 2 spot. I always recommend riders sit on the right side for this coaster, primarily because I think the lift hill is actually kind of spooky for those sitting on the right side. Your seat is just ever so slightly positioned out over the edge of the track, and it makes you feel that much seat, you got the staircase down to the left, you feel like you're still on solid ground. But before you know it, you're going to start cresting over, and you're going to take this pretty fast. You aren't going to have much time to take in this view out in front of you, and then you're going to plunge down an 85-degree drop. Intimidator 305's drop is steep. In fact, I would honestly say it is too steep. Reason for that? This drop is over quick. This drop does not feel 300 feet, especially if you're sitting up front. If you're scared of drops, front row is actually great on this thing because you barely feel the drop. In the back, it obviously lasts longer. Don't expect a ton of airtime. I can think of a lot better drops out there for airtime. This really isn't one.
There's power in the right perspective. Ours is built on more than 85 years of expertise, constant guidance, and relevant insights, ready to support you every step of the way. Because whoever set the right perspective can change your life was exactly right. We're in lots of everything, including spaghetti. Get a Google app for our phone and tap the lens icon to identify your camera. Then you swipe up and figure out how to use it so you can cook up a dish that'll impress the whole family.
And this is where things start to get messed up. How does Intimidator 305 follow up with a huge 300-foot drop with an insane, low-to-the-ground, fast-paced turnaround? You take this turn at 90 miles per hour, and it is so nuts. No other roller coaster on the planet delivers the sensations that this ride does on the first turn. And what sensation is that? Graying out or sometimes blacking out. A gray out is when your vision goes fuzzy, but you still consciously know where you are, you understand what's going on, you just can't see anything. For most riders, it starts here, and you clear up at the peak of this airtime hill. Now, that's not the case for everyone. I've had that gray out last as long as this turn right here. As soon as you bank sharply to the left, you snap out of it. But that one's a bit more rare, and most of the time when that happens, it's because I've actually blacked out, not grayed out. A blackout is when you still can't see, but instead, you're unconscious. The best way I could describe it is you feel like you're floating on clouds. You forget that you're on a roller coaster. Your whole body is numb. And then, when you hit this turn, you snap out of it and you're like, holy crap, I'm on a roller coaster. What's going on? What just happened? This has happened to me on multiple occasions on this roller coaster. Because of the heat. The hotter it is, if you're not drinking water and taking care of yourself, you are way more susceptible to blacking out. But unfortunately, not everybody knows that. And so all it took was a couple people to say, I blacked out on Intimidator 305 to get people talking and saying, oh my gosh, well, I don't want to experience that. I don't want to pass out on a roller coaster. That starts spreading around, and suddenly Intimidator 305 has a bit of a bad reputation. This ride did not perform how Cedar Fair originally hoped. If you think it's bad now, imagine what it was back when it originally opened. The ride was even more intense than it is now. Originally, the first airtime hill after that turn wasn't as gradual. You stayed low to the ground longer and then rose up into the incline more dramatically. This led to a lot more people blacking out. So it only took one season of operation for King's Dominion to close this thing down at the end of the year, bring in folks from Intamin to redo that first turn. Now, it's a lot more enjoyable. But you still get the wide range of folks who have very differing opinions on this thing. You get the people that are too scared of roller coasters and won't ride this because it's too tall and too fast. You get the people that will ride most anything except for this. You get the people that will ride this once, say, you know what, that's...
Later. There, comment.
For me, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to go ride something else. And then you get the people that write it and say, that was the best thing ever. I'm going to lap it over and over and over again. Among the general public, mass majority of people, I-305 can have very differing opinions. It just so happens that in the coaster enthusiast world, most people love it. And I include myself in that. So let's get back into this layout. When you reach the peak of this airtime hill and your vision, in most cases, clears up here, you drop down into the lowest sections of the ride. When you're in the back, you can get some nice floater coming off this hill. It's insane to me how the first two elements on I-305 are so high off the ground, and then everything else is like less than 30 feet. You hit a hard bank left turn and immediately whip into an S-bend. This is part of the ride that I feel like I-35 is really known for. This section where you whip left, switch right, back to left, back to right, it's absolutely nuts. And you can really see where the inspiration came from. This moment is extremely similar to that sequence that you get on Maverick, where it stays low to the ground, it's doing the same thing. The difference is here, you are going significantly faster. I-35 is maintaining that speed, and that's why the profiling here is so dramatic. As a rider, I'm still leaning into those transitions. If you don't see those turns coming, I could see how that could be jolty or uncomfortable. But if you know that you're about to suddenly change directions, I found that leaning into that makes the experience much that are way this ride that is almost 15 years old. It's really quite impressive. So then you have this back turn that's very similar. First turn that you took after the drop, it runs right up next to it, and then it lifts you up,